Welcome to another Sessionwire live demo. Apologies for the delay again. It seems that Facebook's live streaming has changed on me, and we need to figure this out for the next one. So again, apologies and thanks for your patience. Today we're jumping into FL Studio and Sessionwire. Fairly excited about this this demonstration. FL Studio, up until about the last maybe couple previous releases, has been incompatible with our plugins, and their development team has made strides in stability improvements with regards to our plugins in particular. Not that we were in contact with them a bunch about our plugins specifically, but something that they did in this most recent update has solved that for us. So this is FL Studio version 20.9.1. 20.9.1. This is the version that works with our plugins that that I've been testing, and we'll go through how to set up FL Studio with our plugins here. So without further ado, we'll jump right in. Let me bring up my Sessionwire window here and make sure that everything is defaulted correctly. So here we go. Main monitor. There we go. Excuse me. This is the Sessionwire window, if you're not familiar with it. There are two panes to this application. The left side is the local video pane. The right side is anything to do with the remote side of the call, including a contact list when you're not in an active call. Mousing over the local side of the app, we see the four buttons pop up here. The leftmost to do with the Talkback stream, which is mono, has noise suppression and echo cancellation in it. So it's meant for verbal communication. You can talk to somebody without having to pay for an upgraded plan immediately using the Talkback stream and video stream. You set it up just like you would any video communication software platform. Pick a microphone you know will get audio in, pick a speaker you know will bring audio out, and away you go. So for me, I've got a microphone plugged into channel 1 of my audio interface. Ooh, I'm going to make sure that my voice is coming across here. Let me check my routing. This will help things drastically. Okay, now you can hear me better. Pardon me, getting over a bit of a cold here. Let's have a look at our comments, make sure I'm not missing anything either. If you're dropping in on the stream, please say hello in the comment section. Let me know where you're from. I love seeing people drop in on these streams and hearing about where you're from and what you're doing. Let's see here. Yeah, this looks great. Okay. Where are we here? There we go. Make this a little bit bigger. Excellent. Okay, so back to the app here. I've got my microphone plugged into channel 1 of my audio interface. So I've got my audio interface selected as my microphone. And my default speaker device is SonarWorks, but I would typically set it to my audio interface so I could just hear the audio, my Talkback audio coming from the remote side of the call, straight out of my audio interface. No need to set up anything else around that. So here we go. Camera I've got selected just whatever I'm using as a camera up here. And the HQ audio stream, the HQ audio source defaults as the Sessionwire send plugin. And the destination, which is the audio coming from the remote side of the call, defaults to the system output as well. So you don't need to touch any of the settings in Sessionwire in order to get up and running, streaming audio back and forth, which is excellent. So into FL Studio here, we'll bring up Sessionwire to the foreground here. Always on top. Excellent. Okay, so FL Studio, hopefully you can all see this okay. Let me see if I can remember my settings here. I want to make these a little bit wider. No. Well, we'll deal with that for now. So I've got a session set up. I've programmed just a kind of a stock drum beat into the sequencer here. This is exactly how FL Studio opens. There's nothing different about this. This isn't a template or anything like that. So I'll play this audio. You won't be able to hear it because I'm not streaming it through Sessionwire yet. So we see, you know, the inserts 1, 2, 3, and 4 correspond to the kick, clap, hi-hat, and snare. We see it hitting the master insert right here, the master channel, which is going to become useful in a second. I'm going to call Dan Smith in Sessionwire, which is my other computer over here. Let's try this again. Dan was doing something else over there. I might have to reload Sessionwire here. Let's try calling Dan again here. There we go. He's answering. It seems like all of the bugs are rearing their head today. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is fantastic. Let's try this again. There we go. Answer. And we're connected. Okay. Pardon me. So, here we go. I've got this session here. I've got Sessionwire open. Bring this always on top again. If I hit play, we're not going to see any signal show up in Sessionwire, as kind of expected. If I want to stream the audio in FL Studio to the other side of the call, I'm going to insert the Sessionwire send plugin at the end of this master channel. Here's the Sessionwire send plugin. It's on the master channel here, and if I hit play now, we see we're getting signal into Sessionwire now, which means it's successfully being streamed to the other side of the Sessionwire call. Perfect. This is how you will stream your audio out of FL Studio to the other side of the call. A couple of notes about audio settings in FL Studio. I find that turning off Smart Disable and Align Tick Lengths helps a lot with certain issues. Also, set your buffer length to a standard buffer size. So 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, and so on. Those are standard buffer lengths. FL Studio allows really any buffer length, which computers don't like. If it's not aligning with, you know, the standard buffer lengths, you might find that you run into issues there. No other settings in here. However, in the plugin wrappers, if we hit the settings button, it opens up our little settings menu here. Pardon me. Things that I've found have helped: turning off allow smart disable. Sometimes turning off allow threaded processing helps. Under troubleshooting, Used fixed buffer sizes and process maximum size buffers are the settings that I suggest using for these plugins, just to make sure everything runs smoothly. Okay? So, now bringing audio from Sessionwire into FL Studio. I have some test audio queued up here. Good, so you can hear that because that's coming straight out of Sessionwire to my audio interface. It's not coming into FL yet. So we're going to use insert number 10, just because, to bring that audio into FL Studio. So I've selected insert number 10. You can also rename it if you like. Rename, I'm going to call it Sessionwire Receive. There. You can also change the color. I sometimes like to do that. Where do we go here? Right there, of course, to Sessionwire Orange. Accept. So this is going to be my Sessionwire Receive channel, and on here I'm going to insert the Sessionwire Receive plugin. In the Sessionwire app, I'm also going to change the HQ Audio destination to Sessionwire Receive plugin. There we go. So now if I have Dan play, we are now receiving audio into FL Studio via this Receive plugin on insert number 10. But we also see that it's going straight out, the master out, and touching the send plugin and looping it back to Dan through my HQ audio stream, which is not good. I'll play that again. We'll look at the signal path here. Right here. The Receive plugin through this channel to the master, and then back out my HQ audio stream here. Okay, so it's coming in through the HQ audio stream, through the Sessionwire Receive channel, to the master fader. The master fader has a Sessionwire Send plugin on it, which means that it's bouncing it out my HQ audio stream back to Dan. So we need to do some routing in FL here. We're going to not route this to the master channel by clicking this button here. That stops the routing. And we're going to change the output of insert number 10 to output 1 and 2, which is the output of my hardware device, my hardware interface. And if we play, I can still hear that audio. It's not being bounced out through the Sessionwire Send channel anymore to the other side. Perfect. Now, if I wanted to record that, I'm going to go to my timeline here. I'm going to switch to song. I'm going to right-click on insert number 1, go to track mode, hit audio track, and select insert 5. So this is going to be where the audio is going to show up incoming. Right here, we're going to use insert 5, and I'm going to route the Sessionwire Receive audio to insert number 5, if I'm not mistaken, if I've got this correct. And we're going to input arm this, and we're going to try and record this. Here we go. We're going to record. There we go. We're recording audio into FL Studio. So as you can see, it takes some routing to kind of get this to work. You have to insert the Receive plugin on an insert and then bring that insert to another audio track using the routing and, selecting the track mode to audio track. Select that insert and record, and away you go. Okay. So that's where we're going to kind of leave that today. I will likely redo this stream at another time. There have been some technical issues today that I didn't plan on running into. I'm hopefully going to have that all ironed out before the next stream. So please join us for the next stream. Next week I'll be doing, let me look at my calendar here. This is a little bit more disorganized than I'm than I would like. Next week, we're going to be looking at live streaming your remote sessions using Streamlabs Desktop, which is what I'm doing right now. So please join me for that. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to live stream your Sessionwire live sessions. Until then, we'll see you next time.